services to Kenyans. If you look at the cartoons today, and my director can help me with this, the cartoon on the People Daily and the cartoon on the Daily Nation has listed a number of things that many Kenyans are facing, that these are things that, yes, that's a cartoon on the Standard. Now it talks about state capture, but yes, this one is the one from the Daily Nation. It has lists, to-do list for the president and the government, even stamped urgent. And the debts, unemployment, overtaxation, SHIF and SHA, that's the transition to the new healthcare system, university funding model, abductions. Only 2 down there have been marked green. Those ones have been achieved so far. That's the issue of impeachment of the deputy president and that debate about term limits. I don't know why it's been ticked. There's the cartoon on the People Daily as well, which portrays the president, Ruto's 2 years. His wheelbarrow has a square wheel, meaning it's not even turning comfortably. It is already laden with corruption, abduction, same list. Stadiums, finance bill, affordable housing, Adani saga, no deputy president, the transition between NHIF and SHIF. Kenyans are feeling the pressure. If you look at the front page of the Daily Nation, they have 2 stories on the right strip, the right-hand strip, the Daily Nation. They have the president saying, stop propaganda. President chides government critics. So he says he's defending his remarkable performance in the past 2 years, saying those attacking the Kenya Kwanza administration are spreading fake news and propaganda. But right below that story is a story about healthcare. So there's baby Ariana left in the lurch in India amid SHIF fiasco, not NHIF, not any other thing. So this social security, social health insurance fund that we are transiting into, of which many Kenyans for the first time are looking at their pay slips this end month, and some of them are fainting just seeing the amount of money deducted directly from them, yet people are dying. Someone like baby Ariana is still at a hospital in India because they cannot pay 500,000 shillings. Yet the president says this is propaganda. Now that you're propping up this administration, you are the one pillar that is holding on and supporting this administration. Should we blame ODM as well? You've taken up the mantle.
ODM is, in English, we are what we call Johnny come lately.
So these are not your problems.
These are not our problems. But we are willing and we know that we are able to help the government streamline some of these problems. Truth be said, I have just come from my rural area. And our people are grappling with the very basics of life. When this administration came into power, they promised many things, many lofty things, including pesa mfukoni. I can tell you, Fred, if I give you my phone now, you'll find at least 4 or 5 messages. In fact, probably by now, 10 messages of people who have gone to hospital between last night and this morning and who are unable to access the facilities because of this insurance. In Parliament, the Committee on Health has tried its level best. And so far, what we've been getting are promises that this system will be working. In fact, I remember on 20th of October, during the Mashujaa Day, if I'm not correct, and if my memory serves me right, the head of state himself promised that within a week, this will be working. We are not asking for too much. We are saying, let the health system work. Let the funding model work in the universities. Let us start seeing government committed to creating opportunities. I was very saddened when I saw close to 80,000 Kenyans lining up to take low cadre jobs in Qatar. It is even more painful when you realize that half of those people are graduates who've gone to school and whose only hope to a good life was going to school. We get messages from many parents who say, you know, I took a loan to take my child to school and now he's a teacher. He's been out 5 years, 6 years down the line. And yet when teachers are getting employed, it is those from other regions that got the opportunities. These are the things that we are coming to fix in government, because we feel that they are ultimately wrong. And so, I think these cartoons depict the hopelessness many people are feeling, or the frustrations that our people are feeling. And sometimes as Member of Parliament, you can only but sympathize, because you also have limits. Let me give you an example, Fred. In my other life, when I was in private sector, I was able to take one of the best insurances, medical insurances, which among other things guaranteed even air rescue. Now, if you look at the contributions that we are bound to make now to SHIF, they exceed that insurance, private sector insurance. In fact, you need to do a survey and go to whether it is Old Mutual, whether it is APA insurance, whether it is Jubilee, or even international ones like BUPA. And ask yourself, are we guaranteed the same quality or better quality in healthcare to these private sector insurances? And that is the ultimate test of the effectiveness and efficiency of this scheme. Because we don't want to get into a situation where the SHIF will have billions of shillings in the account, and then all of a sudden you hear that now they're buying land in Kajiado to build a university, or that they are going to start constructing an ultra-modern office complex. We want this money to be dedicated to healthcare 100%, whether it is outpatient, inpatient, maternity services,
from what you've seen
pharmacy.
So far, with
if I was to grade, if I was to give,
do they even have a capacity to absorb that kind of money?
If I was to give an assessment today, as a fair person, out of 10, I'd probably give 2 over 10. Because we have been planning for this migration for over a year. There have been interventions, even in court. And yet, when we start, we are not ready. You ask yourself, how? And this is a technology-driven system. Technology is supposed to be, among other things, be very efficient. But then you hear someone has gone, oh, MP, please, I need 4,000 because I need to pay for a CT scan. Oh, I'm stuck at the pharmacy because the SHIF is not working. These are real problems that we face every day as elected legislators. And unfortunately, we come from rural areas. And so most of our constituents, 100% rely on public services. The second thing that we need to fix is our education system. I don't know why it is becoming a problem for anyone to see that this is something that is a time bomb. So far, I know there's a court injunction on the funding model. And so in theory, the government cannot even release money to the universities. So it's a matter of time again, and you see universities grappling with closure because they cannot sustain the students. We need to work on deliberate efforts to bring manufacturing to Kenya and support manufacturing. We need to say, if it is this affordable housing business we are doing, 100% of the products must be manufactured in Kenya, or at least assembled in Kenya. But now what are we doing? We are letting contractors import tiles from China. And you know, tile making is a traditional art. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you go to China or India, where they make the tiles, you'll be surprised. It's no different from our rural areas. I've had the privilege of seeing some of these factories. It is very rudimentary. Now, we don't see an effort, deliberate effort, to work along the chain. We design, we contract, but we never see where the contractors get these products. Okay. If there was a deliberate effort to make sure that these things are manufactured here, manufacturing of ceramic fittings or tiles is a basic art. In fact, it is 3,000 years old.
But the government appears overwhelmed by so many different things. If you look at those two lists and to see two cartoons agreeing on a theme,